Hi, this is Brooke. Hey, most of my lessons are pretty simple because I like simple, clear music. And a lot of things I teach are not terribly difficult. One topic is trying to improvise and play solos. It can be intimidating if you haven't been doing it for 30 years like I have, and I still get nervous about it. But one of the basic licks I started on many years ago would be the simple phrase. How many notes is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good starting point. We're in the key of A. All you gotta do, start with your ring finger on an A, 7th fret, 4th string. That's your ring finger. Now go over to the C, 3rd string, 5th fret. Then you get a D, 3rd string, 7th fret. There's 3 notes. Now I'm going to bend this D up to an E. I'm using 3 fingers to push. That's really important. So you want to control that. Hold that bend. You can always give it a little shake, which is actually difficult. Check it out. And I'm using my arm to move that. And wrist. Wrist is kind of working like that. It's not the finger, it's the wrist and arm. Alright, now let's just reverse it. With that lick, you should be able to come up with many different phrases and variations. So it's how many different things you can come up with quickly and on the fly. You don't really need a giant pattern of notes. If we're just keeping it simple. That was less than 4 notes. Super simple. You're probably bored out of your mind, but that's really all you need to start getting used to phrasing. Let's add 1 note. How about a G to an A? That's 5th fret, 4th string. G to A. That's the dominant 7th of an A chord. So an A chord, adding that G makes it A7. So now we've got a lot more variables. There's one bend I always like to talk about is the 3rd string, 5th fret C. If you pull that towards the floor a little bit, just gets a little nudge of pitch. So just remember, this A is your root, the root of the chord. A chord. It's an A note. Root. So it sounds good to end on that root with your phrase. You don't have to, but it sounds fairly pleasant and expected. So how many simple phrases can you do with this? We got about 4 notes here. 5 including this bend. And 6 if you bend this. It's too easy. But like I say, I know people get intimidated. And that's all I'm trying to do is help people just jam out and have fun. Let's add a little more. Don't want you getting bored. 5th fret to 8th fret on the 2nd string. That's an E to a G. Put in a slide there. We got a scale going on here. One more note is another A. So that's a good target or destination to end a phrase on. You can end on any note you want if it sounds good. Oops. There's the G. There's the E. The C or C sharp, depending on if it's major or minor, the chord. The D is not that great of a note to end on unless you know what you're doing. You know, an A chord, end on a D note, sounds kind of weird. So the D might not be a good one to end a phrase on normally. Here's an AC on the top. Real simple. Uh-oh, going down lower. So we just started with... That's an E to a D on the 5th string, 7th fret to 5th fret. So remember that D is not a good note to end a phrase on normally. Let's try a phrase that ends on D. If the A chord is still happening, that D note is kind of chaotic and just seems to cause turbulence, does not resolve nicely. That, well, unless you're going for kind of a complex, jazzy, freaky thing, I'm going for simple. So let's say D is a bad note to end your phrase on for now. A is cool. G could work. E is possible. D sounds dumb. And C possible, but A is the most powerful common one to end on. So I threw in a C and an A on the end. So just making a pentatonic minor scale here. So it's a loosey-goosey, relaxed lesson. No pressure, do your own thing. If you want to jam, it says right there in the Constitution, you have the right to jam. So do it.